line up fast. Double down. Triple down. 2 for 1. Triple down. Double down. Yes! 3 down. I know a comeback when I...
Hello everyone, I am CoolGuy, welcome back, and today let's go over the Forsaken Hunter exotic chess piece, Gwisin Vest. And as you can tell from the opening clip, it has a lot of potential. I mean, a lot of potential. So in this review, we're going to go over how potent it is, especially in PvE. We're going to go over how it works, tips for use, and a lot more. Gwisin is a Korean term for ghost, and it's talked about within the lore tab. This exotic is paired specifically with the Spectral Blade subclass. Now, I reviewed the subclass after the DLC came out, and now it has a lot more potential. There's a link down in the description to the video explaining what all the subclass does. The Gwisin Vest exotic perk is Roving Assassin. Each Spectral Blade kill that you make before going into stealth restores more of your super energy. Spectral Blades is getting a buff in Season 5, and it's very much needed. Later in the review, I'm going to showcase some of its current issues, and make no mistake, once this buff comes, this vest and subclass gets a lot better. So let's talk about it for a second. Once this update goes live later on, I'll go over the subclass with the buff, including this chest piece. They're increasing melee lunge range of all attacks, reducing the cost of light melee attacks, increasing the number of consecutive hits required to speed up the attack rate. A big one, decreasing melee attack speed to improve hit registration. They're also increasing the viability of the stealth mechanic, Vanish, Wraith mode, added a small amount of damage resistance to the stealth state, and further decreased the super drain while in the stealth state. If you played this subclass, you know that the super is the weak link, for a number of reasons: duration, hit registration, how easily it can be taken down. These buffs are huge for the subclass, so keep this in mind as you're watching the gameplay. This is a very chaotic exotic. It has roles though, it has limits, it has things that you can do to get the most out of it as well. When you pop into Spectral Blades, the super starts draining. You have 2 attacks, the light melee attack, which is tied to your melee, and then the heavy attack, which is tied to your right trigger, the fire button. When you use the heavy attack, your hunter does a backflip strike animation. When you do this, you go back into Wraith mode, stealth mode, Vanish. Now and in the future, you want to be in stealth mode when moving. It's very important getting the most out of this chest piece. One of the most important things of using this chest piece is to get a kill with Spectral Blades within the first couple seconds of popping it. That can either be a light attack or a heavy attack. Either way, right after the kill, immediately go back into stealth mode. If you use your heavy attack on your first kill, sometimes you get the super energy back, sometimes it doesn't. If it does not, use the heavy attack again and you're gonna get that energy back. And this is the part that's in question. I'm not sure if it's a bug or not. Now, I do have an explanation for how it's actually working, but the perk states Vanish after Spectral Blade kills for more super energy. Each Spectral Blade kill you make before going stealth will restore more of your super energy. Now, you would think with the wordage that once you get a kill and Vanish, it extends the duration. In that order. You get your extension and that's it. You would need to go on and find another enemy to kill to extend it more. Similar to something like the Titan's Doomfang Pauldrons, or let's say Dawnblade. You get a kill, it extends your super, but that isn't how this is working. With how it's actually working, it uses a sort of bank system after a kill for your super bar, for the entire super duration. Once you get a kill and then Vanish, you get your super energy back, and it uses that one kill as the regeneration for the entire duration of your super. Vanish gets you the super energy back, but it's on a cooldown. After you Vanish and get the energy back, there's about a 1 to 2 second cooldown before you can do it again. If you do it back to back, right trigger, it will get the big bump of energy back, but the second one will just drain it and not give any back. So you would have to Vanish again, the cooldown is over, and then you would gain it back. So don't do it back to back ever. As far as what I call banking this kill, I've noticed it's based on kills and rapid kills, but it's most important right when you pop your super. If you pop it and get a double kill, it banks 2 kills. So this means more super energy when you Vanish. It gives a lot more energy back, and this can happen in the middle of your super as well, but at that point it's almost over and you've already lost a little bit of time. But getting 2 kills and having the big regeneration is what keeps it going for a long time. Now, as far as that duration, you can keep it going for well over 2 minutes, probably even longer. Think about that for a second. But that matters in a way, but it doesn't matter, if that makes sense. It has limits. The Gwisin Vest has a 5 orb limit. Once you gain your 5th orb, the regeneration of your super stops. Sometimes, very rarely, after the 5th orb, it will let you regen your super energy back until 1 more kill, but after that, the orb stops, the super is in its final stretch, and you won't gain any super energy back when you Vanish. In-game, it has an audio cue. When you are regenerating your super energy, after the Vanish, you hear a sound, and that sound is similar to that of what Rampage sounds like. Once the 5th orb is made though, that sound stops. With how orbs stretch out, I mean, in PvE, you'd have higher tier enemies, sometimes they give you 2 or 3, that actually hurts you in the long run. But it usually does it every other kill, sometimes it does back to back, so in PvP, it can net you a 10 kill super. I've done that a couple times. Anything beyond 10 is in the final stretch of your super though. It's very good in the Crucible, but it's not just lethal in PvP. In PvE though, it really shines. With how this perk works, with how it banks the super energy, you can utilize that. Remember, after 5 orbs, the Gwisin slows down. But if you haven't made 5 orbs, you can use this vest to your advantage. With what I've learned, it makes Spectral Blades extremely effective versus bosses and higher tier enemies. I mean, extremely effective. Remember, get 1 kill to an enemy before you do this, that way you get the super regeneration, so you get in close and what I do is melee, vanish. Do 2 or 4 melees. And remember, with how it currently sits, it gets faster and faster as you're meleeing your target, and then you vanish again. This gets damage in, it kind of bypasses the cooldown because you're meleeing and you regen the energy back, and it goes on and on and on for constant damage. This is actually my preferred way to use it in PvE. Sure, you can clear ads if you need to, but using it like this is one of the most effective ways, and you haven't created 5 orbs yet, so you can really just let it go and go. And the same thing for Gambit. When you take all of this subclass into consideration now with this exotic, we have the 50% more damage you do after the flawless execution melee. It brings the subclass way up. And when I'm using this chest piece in PvP, I run all super mods on all of my gear. This all but guarantees me first super of the match, and when that happens, I can't be easily shut down, and I found that when I go on these long, very long Spectral Blade streaks, they usually end with me getting Blade Barraged or Titan Smashed, because it goes on for so long they have to shut me down. It does have issues, the hit detection, and another is how easily you are shut down. I mean easily shut down if you aren't moving correctly. This class is all about stealth. You get a kill or 2, you vanish, then you pick your next opponent. If you're careless in an open area, or they're ready for you, they can easily shut you down. A couple shotgun shots and it's all over. But with the update that's coming, they are giving you a tad more armor and better hit detection. So the question now is if they're going to change this exotic or have it work how it does currently. I kind of hope that it stays. They said that they wanted to break the game, and now we do have Ursa, we have Shards, Nova Warp, really powerful stuff. My vote would to be buffing other exotics first. If in the end they feel like the strong ones are a little too strong, then they make an adjustment, so be it. But I would like to see something like this for the Gunslinger, for the Warlock, the Titan Smash, and so on. Or neutral exotics, give them more than what they do now. Make them more exotic, make them powerful. That's what it's all about. Exotic pieces are supposed to be a hard choice with how you like to play, so make it a hard choice. When I made the Spectral Blades subclass review, I said the Graviton Forfeit was a top option due to having more time with True Sight, flawless execution, but since getting this chest piece, that has all changed. To me now, after seeing its ceiling with what you can do in PvE to bosses, and the ability to go on sneaky long streaks in the Crucible, it starts becoming a set exotic for the subclass, like Orpheus Rig with the Tether, or running the Phoenix Protocol with the Well of Radiance on the new Dawnblade sub. And this chest piece isn't too far off from the rated Flux from the Arcstrider. Remember, Chained Arc Staff hits buff damage and extends duration. Now the Raiden Flux is arguably better for ad clearing, but the Gwisin has a lot more utility when it comes to ad clearing, or using it how we covered for bosses. In conclusion, the Gwisin Vest is at the top for me. A lot of these Forsaken exotics are powerful. The more I played with it, the more value I found. Most surprisingly in PvE, the ability to keep just smacking down a high level enemy is not only fun, but does great damage. Put a Void Singe on and just go to town. In PvP, the potential that it has really has to do with your movement. By design, Spectral Blades is stealthy. Remember to run around in stealth mode to save your super energy. Pop out, surprise, say hello for a second, and go right back into stealth mode. Especially if you need to go across the map. Keep an eye on that super bar and refill it as soon as possible, wait for the small cooldown, and then do it again. So I'd like to know your thoughts on the Gwisin Vest. If you have it, what do you think? And if you don't, just from what you've seen here today in the video, what are your thoughts? And if you are subscribed, thank you very much. The comment section thanks you for that as well. If you are new, remember to hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.